Hello, and happy Wednesday. I almost thought about saying Thursday again.
I could feel the energy through the screen. How we doing, Ivan?
Excellent. How you doing, Ivan?
Doing great. I'm loving this new day. Wednesday works better, I think, for both of us. So it's always good to have that energy going. So
Wednesday is traditionally a busy day for me, but it's a nice way to finish it with a cool stream, kind of summarizing the last week or two, depending on the time of the month. No pun intended. That we happen to be in, and be able to summarize everything. So
yeah, definitely. There's lots of events, so there might be a few more skips throughout the summer, but that's okay. We're out here learning and sharing what we learn with you guys.
That reminds me of a project, but before I get into that, welcome everyone. My name is Ivan Demo, CMO of the American Crypto Academy, and I'm joined by my pal Evan.
Yes, I am Evan Lamontagne. I go by EvDog Crypto on Twitter. I'm an analyst for Sarsen Funds and an avid NFT and digital asset fan myself. So we're out here sharing what we learn with you guys from all the different sources that we browse through daily, just in our personal interest, and we're just sharing it here with you guys.
Absolutely, and anything and everything we say on the show is for information and educational purposes. Nothing is financial advice. Speak to a financial advisor. Make sure they're registered, because a lot of those registered financial advisors apparently do not necessarily know what they're speaking about. I learned that this morning on our spaces. We hold Twitter spaces every weekday morning at 9:30 a.m. right on our Twitter account, US Crypto Academy.
Yes. I mean, I'm always learning little tidbits like that from these guys. I mean, our team has such a plethora of knowledge that just kind of, we get little bits and pieces as different topics get brought up. It's a great space. I learned so much. It's awesome.
All right. So if you're new to the show or just joining us for the first time, that would make you new to the show still. Or you've been missing or forgotten what we do here. We just, like Evan just shared, we talk about what we like and what we want to explore more, and what we're curious and what we think is worth merits to share about because of development in Web3 and blockchain technology, and what this space is allowing us to explore that we haven't thus far. So welcome. And on this episode, some topics we'll cover. I'm going to bring up TX Street. I'm not sure if that's meant to stand for Texas, but TX Street, cool little neat app that I think everyone that's in the space should check out, because I'm yet to hear any bad reviews about it. I also talk about book.io. It's a new Web3 app that is bringing books digitally to the space with NFT ownership and in some cases limited releases. Also talk about Showtime.xyz if you're not familiar with that service. So a few different services that are out there that are quite interesting tools or marketplaces or utilities. And so we'll get into that. And uh, as usual, if you are returning to the show, you know that we often bring up projects that Evan and myself personally follow individually. And so I'm going to talk about the latest update with Upland as they had a new city or two released this past week. And then, Evan, what are you going to tell us about?
So I'm going to be talking a little bit about Blend. It is Blur's new lending offering, which is very interesting, a little bit different than any other lending platform or offering that other exchanges or platforms have released. I'm also going to talk about Hundrix. It's a Twitter extension allowing Web3 to creep its way into Web2 socials. So we're going to talk a little bit about what that might look like and just kind of opening your guys' eyes to what might be possible here in the near future. I'm also going to talk about executable NFTs. And in this case, we're going to be talking about X NFT Backpack and what they've been working on in conjunction with some of their founders and their funding, which is very well backed. So I'm excited to share that with you guys and explore that a little bit more.
All right. And with that in mind, we have what is it? What is it? We have a couple of market updates and Kellogg's Funko series. If you're not familiar with the Funko series, everyone should know or have heard of Funko. Funko does these little cute figures that they come in a little box. You can buy at every retailer, but Funko is also releasing digital assets and collectibles on the Wax blockchain. Again, another fan favorite here, but so Kellogg, they've released several different Funko series, but one in particular, their Kellogg Series 1 has been nominated for Licensing International Excellence Award under Best Licensed Digital Product, which includes apps, video games, and NFTs. And I guess I'll share a little share screen. No, share window. Just real quick. Wait, I can do this. Yes. So best licensed product for digital apps, video games, and NFTs. And it's kind of a big deal because this is one of the first times for a digital collectible to be nominated for a mainstream award. Now, it hasn't won yet, so we don't know who the winner is. But the fact that it's nominated and it's up there with mainstream digital arts like video games and different applications that we've seen in Web 2. Here we have a Funko Kellogg's drop. And I think that's one of the drops that I personally missed. So, like, it is what it is. But that's my market update for the day, or market highlight, rather. And Evan, you had one.
Yes. So I actually ran into this article today talking about Apple's 30% tax mandate on app purchases. This was upheld within the courts regarding the Epic Games issue that they had been running into with Fortnite Mobile. I think we've talked about that before, Ivan. But they're also going to be basically paving the way for external app stores outside of the default Apple App Store. So we're going to talk a little bit about that within this Decrypt article that I was reading today.
You talking about it now or later?
We can talk about it now. You went through yours. I'll go through mine.
Yeah, let me do it
up real fast.
So, like, Apple's so greedy. Again, like one topic we've talked about is in the past is that Apple, and unless Apple gives in a little bit more freedom to Web3 apps, that it may kind of give way to others to take lead and almost put itself out in the marketplace if they don't adapt and move forward with Web3.
Yeah, no, and I think that's going to be the big question going forward for apps in general. I think is this has been unchallenged for as long as the App Store's been around, right? We've been we've been paying this 30% cut without even really realizing it because it gets eaten on the business side for all of these applications that get released. And for a lot of products, like, say a game or something, it's not as impactful. They can raise the price by 30% based on where they want their margins. But when you're talking about digital assets and things that are not controlled by that app that is hosting that marketplace and those trades, that can become very problemsome. So this is specifically for, the implications specifically apply to NFT and crypto builders. So basically what they're allowing people to do is, so the ruling made late Monday by the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Ninth Circuit came as part of a reevaluation of the 2022 lawsuit filed against Fortnite creator Epic Games against Apple over the tech giant's alleged monopoly in the mobile games market. Apple mostly prevailed in that lawsuit, but on Monday's decision, they found that Apple does not have a monopoly over gaming apps. So this opens that door for these Web3 games Web3 games, Web3 applications to possibly be finding themselves in a circumstance where they can find themselves on external app stores. We saw a decision made in Europe, maybe a month ago now, maybe not quite, where basically they are going to force Apple devices or Apple to allow Apple devices to download external app stores if they would like to, similar to how the Google Play Store allows you to have those external app stores, which comes with a whole plethora of problems. You have to get verified. You want to make sure that people are downloading software that isn't malicious. But this is definitely a step in the right direction because this is going to allow for this creator economy to evolve on its own without this giant gatekeeper known as Apple to make all these hard and fast decisions. So I think it's a great step in the right direction. What are you thinking on some of these updates, Ivan?
I mean, I don't know that the US would force them to do anything because who knows in the background how much they're paying off lobbyists and whatnot to provide them with the freedom that a lot of corporations have to do as they choose to in this country. But to your point, the European market is a prime example of what should be done, and where, yes, sure, you want to claim dominance and you want to claim security and safety and create this gate, but then you're also saying no to progress and development and freedom, and so like you're limiting yourself. And so at the end of the day, I think it's only hurting Apple and not necessarily the marketplace. It's only creating an opportunity in the marketplace. And so Crypto Daddy with his comments. Welcome. Happy Wednesday. So Apple's either going to have to give in or pay a lot more money to be relevant. Now, you can't argue that they make excellent equipment, and so maybe they're just jeopardizing the mobile market, but it is what it is. It's going to be interesting to see how it develops as Web3 and blockchain technology becomes more relevant and mainstream.
Definitely, yep. I think just having that door even just cracked open is really all we need for this technology to find a way to evolve, right? I mean, even grass grows in the crack of the street sometimes. So I'm excited to see what happens for sure.
Hey, I'm in Florida. That happens more often than not.
Exactly. Yep.
But we're going to jump into something fun right after this. I discovered and I was introduced to this app. I forget, somewhere in a Twitter space, I think. Maybe. I don't remember. Like everything is a blur. But this is a neat little app that anyone can use. It's txstreet.com. No, that's true. Like a bank near you, there's more regional banks on the edge that are expected to potentially be at risk. Let's see if how many of those JP Morgan can handle. But back to this app, txstreet.com. They obviously, this is an ad. I'm not here to sell you an NFT with this, but this is an interesting app that basically visualizes transaction costs, as we call them, gas fees, on both Ethereum and on Bitcoin. And Ethereum, it goes even as far as telling you where those transactions are coming from, with regards to what app or what decentralized app or DApp, as we call them. It also shows you the plethora of people or transactions that are not willing to pay the high gas fees and are sitting there waiting in a queue, hoping the gas fee goes down before they say, okay, go forward. But I think this is really neat. And I think one of my favorite parts about it is that is maybe intentionally or unintentionally South Park themed.
I love that. That's my favorite part about the whole thing. Oh,
Yeah, that's what I said. South Park characters. It is cool.
it's awesome.
Welcome back, over. It's so great to have you. Thank you for tuning in. Let's go. Careful with that drink there. Don't choke out.
Yeah, definitely a cool way to visualize, and I think it's a good thing too for people that are new to understanding like how these gas fees and stuff work. It's definitely it's more educational than it even looks, right? You're understanding kind of how these blocks work, how the GUI works, how the priorities work within these fee structures. It's really cool.
But wait, there's more. I just realized that I can select a different chain up here, and they even have Bitcoin Cash and
Oh, I did not
Monero.
know that.
I didn't. Yeah. Look. Oh, look how Monero is sitting in the clouds.
That's
For those
cool.
of you that are not familiar, Monero, the reason the source is hidden in the clouds is because Monero is supposed to be a privacy token, where we do not know where the transactions originate. So it's cute that they simulated that as well. Let's see, there's Litecoin. Hey, Litecoin's busier than Bitcoin Cash and Monero.
Love to see it.
Arbitrum, isn't that a layer 2?
It is a layer 2. See how they have this, so it's like,
Oh my
because they're batch transactions. That's interesting. Wow.
Oh, this is hilarious.
Yeah, because what Arbitrum does is it basically pushes through your transactions in real time, and it like clumps them together to then take to the Ethereum blockchain to verify that those transactions have gone through. That's so funny that they're throwing what are those supposed to be? Little letters or little notes? Receipts. That's probably what it is receipts.
Wait, no, this is a batch and people
Yeah.
on a people mover, basically, or transactions on movers, that it batches them together in that to send them
Right.
to the chain.
Yeah. That's so cool.
What were you saying about
So the little things that they're throwing, their little receipts, because they're the transaction receipts on
wait,
the table.
oh, that's what that is. I thought it was
Yeah.
like a big block of ice, and I'm like, why is there a big block of ice? But they're throwing receipts. I get it.
That's so interesting. And I love how they have like the little people for the tiny little transactions and the bigger people for the big transactions. This site is just so cool.
Oh, wait.
So you can have the dual view so you can compare.
Yeah. Here's Litecoin. Here's
Wow.
This is so cool. This is so sorry.
No, this is awesome. I'm glad.
It's just shy of playing a video game. It's fun to explore.
Definitely. Yeah, that is a good point. It allows you to visualize. That's awesome.
And real quick, while I have the floor, another app that I discovered in the last, I guess, couple of weeks. And I recently had the pleasure of actually creating an account and getting my first book is book.io. Book.io brings books to Web3, and there's a complete store. In fact, you can buy a copy of War and Peace for $2 So like $2, you get your own digital copy of War and Peace, limited release. I had the pleasure of, because of our team over at Consensus, I had the pleasure of securing a copy of Brave New World by Aldous Huxley. Great book if you haven't read it. It is it was written in the 1920s. It is, and it the technology that exists now. I read it in college, so I'm guessing like 15, 20 years ago or something like that. But the technology that this book describes, based on when it was written and what Aldous was able to what's the word, describe and put into this picture, like, because when you read it, not picture, when in this book, when you read it, it's almost like picture. You can imagine the world and like a movie. Like, they should make a movie. Didn't they make a movie around this? I gotta remember. But like, anyway, great book. Definitely check it out. It's based in the future, written in the 20s, about how the future is classified into three different classes of, what's the word? Not humans. Three different classes of
Citizens?
citizens. Is that the word? Three different classes of classes. Three different classes of citizens. I guess that makes sense. And so, like, you have workers, you have royalty, and I forget what the third one was. And but they're not. You don't get, like, in that world, people get basically manufactured. That's the dark side of the book, is like all the people that exist, and they get classified the moment they're born, and they're born into a lab. But it's a fascinating book. In it, they have, just like, and what's interesting is, because, like, uh, this was he was a European author, and in the U.S. we have Native American. Um, oh my God, where are my words tonight? When you have designated land, it's Native American owned, it's protected. What's it called?
Reservation?
Reservation. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So we have Native American reservations where Indians at one point were forced to live on. Now they can't, and they don't just live on the reservations; they live beyond that, because it's almost impossible, because those sizes kept getting smaller and smaller. And Florida has a big history of that, and so I've over the years learned a lot about that, being living in Florida. But anyway, in this book, they in that future world, they have, also have reservations where it's not Native Americans or Native South Americans or Native Africans or whatever you want to call them, Native people, but uh, they are actually people that are living just like we do now, except on reservations in the future. And so, very fascinating book. Anyway, too much spent on that. I got my copy. It was really cool. There was a code that I got out of Consensus that Maddie got for me, and I was able to retrieve my own copy of Brave New World as a digital full book ebook edition. And from what I see others tweeting about, each one, well, I don't know if it's each one, but like, wait, I've already verified ownership. I guess I got to do it again, or connect my wallet or something. But there's different covers that come to the book, so there's a collective perspective, a collective angle to that, to having the book. But I thought it was really cool. I was a fan of the book, so I was really looking forward to it, and this was kind of a big deal for me. And so, like, that also introduced me to book.io. I didn't know that we had a Web3 provider for books.
I love that it's multi-chain too. That is really cool.
Oh yeah, no, and it tells you, like, you have Cardano, you have Polygon, you have Ethereum, obviously Algorand. There's Ethereum, so, and there's different books you can get. So it's a really cool platform. Definitely worth checking out. And they also offer a custodial wallet. So book.io itself is an app, is on Algorand, so they recommend an algo wallet, but you don't have to create an algo wallet. I think you can run with a custodial wallet. I already had an algo wallet, so I went beyond that. But yeah, really cool. And like War and Peace, I've never read War and Peace, but for two Matic, like, maybe I pick that up and maybe I read it sometime over the next 10 years.
I
No
mean, just the
promises.
collectible factor of some of these is interesting. Like, I wouldn't have thought that to take that angle with like the different covers as art, but it makes perfect sense now that I'm seeing it in front of me.
Right, so that's an excellent point. I think there's solutions coming for that. There's
Yeah.
actually Partner of the ACA is launching a wallet. I'm not to overshare, but that wallet will allow you to basically have multiple wallets in one. So when you access that one wallet, you really have your MetaMask, you have your Phantom, you have your Algorand wallet. They're all in that wallet, and so you just have to access one wallet and then be able to access multiple blockchains, because the wallet can create sort of a wallet within a wallet for you to get that blockchain and assets. So those solutions are coming, and I'm really excited for the next step of Web3, where all of this gets easier.
Definitely. It just makes sense. It's a natural progression. It's got to be painful at first, otherwise it's not worth it.
Buy anywhere but eat gas insane, better buying hard.
It's very true. Cannot
Yeah,
disagree with that.
yeah, but like hard copies, then you also got to worry about storing them. Then you got to worry about like, what do I do if it gets damaged? This way, digital, like digital books have been around for a while. It's nothing new. I mean, like that's how Amazon made its name, right? And so now we have them as actual assets. Where sure, Amazon allows you to resell the book, but now we have a cover, and it could be generative, or it could be different and collectible and limited supply, and so it makes it a lot more interesting.
Yeah, I'm excited for this evolution of books. I think that's going to be. I'm going to have to buy my mom one. She's a library lady, so she loves everything books. So I'll have to send her one or two of some of those titles that I saw that I know she loves. So
Book.io, let's go.
let's go.
All right, all right. What do you? Why don't you take the floor for a minute and tell us
Yeah.
about your next topic?
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about Blur and what they're doing with this new lending platform. Let me make sure I'm on the right page before I share my screen.
Are these books able to resell on OpenS? I'm assuming that means OpenSea. I would imagine so. I haven't gone that far. It allows you to send the book to a different wallet. Um, Obviously, Algorand is not supported by OpenSea, but I can't see why, if it's an Ethereum book, you can't sell it in OpenSea, as it supports all those protocols.
Yeah, absolutely.
Shout out to Love Club DAO tuning in tonight. Thank you.
What's up, Love Club? All right. All right. So we're going to just touch a little bit on this Blur stuff. It's pretty self-explanatory once you kind of understand. It's kind of a buy now, pay later type system, allowing you to put a small fraction of the price of the NFT up, and you're able to then gain access to ownership, but you are still locked into a smart contract, which means that if you do not pay the full amount, and you actually have an unlimited time to do that, you will then default on that NFT. So basically, you're able to put up that small amount. There are only 3 collections that are being supported at the moment: Azuki, Punks, and then Miladies. So the only way to get liquidity on your NFTs is to sell them traditionally. If you have a Punk and you want to buy a new NFT for 10 ETH but don't have the money in your wallet, you have to then sell your Punk. This forces holders out of collections and hurts floor prices. We've seen this happen on Blur over and over for other reasons, but that is a true statement that they make here. With Blend, NFT holders can now borrow ETH against their NFTs without needing to sell. Very, very emerging topic, something I've been exploring a lot on Solana. Very cool new technicality that's only possible because of crypto. So this buy now, pay later system, as you can see, if you wanted to access, a Punk or a Azuki or a Milady, you can put up a small amount, and then you can take full ownership at any time when you pay that full amount. This applies to their point system. Not a huge fan of the point system. Just wanted to highlight this lending platform that they're offering now, and we'll go over and take a little look, and we'll do a little example for you guys. So you can go into the wrapped CryptoPunks here. Say I want some red hair and some crazy makeup, so I can then go in and normally you would press the buy floor button, but here you can press this 215 here, and it walks you through exactly how this would go down. So basically, you're able to buy with 2.15 ETH. Then, if you wanted to sell, say the CryptoPunks floor went up, you could actually take that profit on the difference of what you paid versus the total profit that you would then be making on that sale. But you are paying interest over time. So say, it takes you 3 weeks, a month, 2 months to then sell for profit. That profit margin is likely going to be much less as the interest accrues. So basically, all you're doing is you're getting partial ownership of the ability to access the utility when you're purchasing this way, but you are not accepting full ownership. You can't do any transfers or anything like that. You just have that ownership within your wallet, which is a little different than some of the other lending platforms that I've explored in the past. But your borrow balance will grow by a dynamic interest rate every day. You can wait as long as you want to pay back your borrow, but in certain cases, you may need to repay your borrow within 24 hours or you lose your NFT. There's different terms that you can agree to. We'll pop this up here. So example, if you borrow 10 ETH at a 0.05 daily interest rate, your borrow balance will grow from 10 ETH to 10.15 ETH after a month. So that's kind of that example that I was playing out for you before. So basically, if you sell your NFT for 12 ETH after a month of borrowing at 10 ETH at a 0.05% daily interest rate, you'll keep that difference. So that's the opportunity there, allowing people to access liquidity in a different way than you could before, only with the power of smart contracts allowing you to do so. So pretty cool new approach to NFT lending and accessing liquidity on some of these blue chip NFTs. Definitely an evolution that I think was necessary for these large cap NFTs to continue to grow and people justifying those pictures, right? That's a lot of money to spend on a picture of a person with red hair and crazy makeup. So I'm glad that they're doing things like this to allow people to access that liquidity that would otherwise be locked into that NFT. So very cool.
I would
Any
like some
questions,
tips
Ivan,
from
or anything you
NFTs
wanted
as well.
to...
Yes, thank you. Yes, thank you. Well, you kind of answered it. Like you said, they can they can default on it, but they have unlimited time. So
Yep.
like,
It depends. So basically, here, let's do this. So for example, if you borrow 10 ETH when the floor price is 12 ETH, then the floor price falls to 10.5 ETH. The lender may call on your loan because the floor price is too close to the amount they loan you. When this happens, an automatic process will kick off to find a new lender for your loan at similar terms to your existing loan. If a new lender is not found within 6 hours, you'll need to repay or refinance your loan within 24 hours. So it can get a little complicated. You definitely have to be paying attention. This is not a set it and forget it type of scenario. If you're away from your computer for more than 24 hours or you didn't see that email notification, you can get defaulted on and lose that access to that NFT. So it's definitely something that is going to be for the more experienced and dedicated traders that are doing moves on a daily basis rather than a monthly or a semi-yearly basis. I would not explore this if you are someone that is not experienced in this space in terms of NFT lending, or you don't have a way to then repay that if that does happen to you. So something that I really recommend doing a lot of due diligence on, but it's something to also be aware of because this is going to affect the liquidity in the NFT space overall, I think.
yeah, this isn't for like I wouldn't touch this. This is too much, and it's for
No,
people
I'm
that
not going to touch it either. And I'm someone
this
that loves NFT lending. I'm not touching this.
this is for daily traders. When it's complicated too, it sounds even riskier than it already is as an asset to begin with. So
Yeah, it's just adding leverage on leverage, which is a little scary for people, which rightfully so, right? This is why we always recommend talking to financial advisors, especially before, taking loans out on people with red hair and crazy makeup. So, yeah.
well, they're not people, right? It's smart contracts with a picture attached to it.
Well, picture, yeah, pixelated characters on the internet. Keep dancing, keep the music moving. Oh,
all right. Well, I'm on a roll today with showing different types of platforms that are available in Web3, and I'm gonna keep that roll going with what I'm gonna share next, and that is Showtime. Showtime.xyz. What is Showtime.xyz? Showtime.xyz basically provides you with digital collectibles when you're supporting artists in various ways, music artists, and also just creative. What do you call non-music artists? Artistic artists, visual artists. There you go, visual artists. And so Showtime.xyz, it's very simple. You get on there, you connect with your digital wallet, and then you have a profile, and you're able to at that point claim digital assets offered up by different creators, be it music related or just digital art. And they're very limited numbers, and there's regular creators that drop on regular basis weekly, some monthly, just different ones. And the moment you collect an asset, the deal is that you're going to follow that creator, which also creates an avenue for creators to grow a community. And so I'll show this, for example. This is available. I can collect it. It's an eye. There's 315 out of 350 minted, so almost sold out, and it's free, and it doesn't even cost any gas, and that's the fun part. And I'm pretty sure I'll double check in my wallet here in a second. Let me bring up my wallet.
So these are like companion arts that go with following and participating in these creators' creations, basically.
There are two things there. So it's also tied to. So let me show you the music side. So this particular example is just an image or a piece of art that someone put together as a digital asset, and they use this platform to sort of get it out there to the community and create fellowship and engagement and to demonstrate their art. And so it's a very easy way to sort of like, because it puts it in a queue, it's a very neat way to sort of explore new creators and what they're offering. So, like, I can create this piece. This was just recently released. Only 40 have been minted, but once it reaches 350, they're done. Now, the creator sets the limit of the piece, and this one, and then this one. There's only 250 of this one. This was actually pretty cool. And so there's different types of art. So that's one angle. The other angle is it also has music, and so the music assets allow you to collect the digital piece that's associated with on this platform that also goes into your digital wallet, right into your MetaMask, because that's what I'm connected with. But it also allows you to directly connect to that artist on Spotify, in addition to other platforms. Sometimes it's more than Spotify, and sometimes it includes Sound.xyz. That's another platform that I'll introduce another time, but if we don't have time today, but also like Apple Music, and so it allows you to save it onto your to collect the piece, follow the artist. You can also comment, which often that comment is included right into the assets. As they're collected into different slots, or it's displayed socially for other people to see it. So it's a very engaging way for creators to connect with the community and offer up their art and offer up unique collectibles to the individuals and the fans.
Wow, that's a really unique approach to like growing following. Like I really like this approach. What chain does this live on? Is this like Polygon?
Let me see what my assets in my wallet are, and that I've been getting from there. So the one I just got, let's see. This is, oops. Oh, here it is. So this is,
Yeah, Polygon.
wait, where do you, oh, chain Polygon right there. So
Right
yeah,
on.
I think they're all on Polygon. So I was exposed to this platform by Sammy. So let me see. So I imagine the songs I collected from there are also on Polygon. Love songs. This
Oh,
one's
that
an
one's on.
Ethereum.
So maybe it's
But no, well, no, but that one I might have gotten from Sound.xyz. Let me go to this one. Let's see. This is also Ethereum. Let me quickly go here to my profile, see what I got from here to match up the assets. Yeah, so no, so it's on multiple because here's 704 that I minted with Sammy, and that's on, and here's that 704, and that's on. Oh, the free claims on Polygon. Hang on.
that makes sense. Because I mean, if they're not charging you gas to claim that, it would be very costly to run that on Ethereum.
Yeah, so all of these are on Polygon. So then it must be on Polygon, but it's very seamless. It doesn't ask me to approve any transactions. I just click it. Like you go here to like this is what's hot and trending. You go there, you click it, you collect. You can comment if you want to. It's not required, and like in seconds, and it's in your wallet. And I don't do anything else. And this is one way I've been collecting some neat collectibles. Now there's a catch. They allow you so many per day, and I think let's see, there's you can collect, let me collect some more real quick. What's available just to demonstrate that, and it's going to tell me like, oh, you're out of collections for the day, wait 5 minutes or something like that, because as time passes. Oh, here's one. Here's an example of a music one. So you can pre-add on Apple Music, you can save to Spotify, and that is how you actually collect the piece, because it says, hey, you're going to connect to your Spotify account. You'll save this to the library, and you will follow that artist. Now, here's the warning. You can claim 5 per day. Come back in 3 hours, and I can claim some more.
That's cool though. I like how they have a limit on it, which allows you to be a little bit more picky, but also, over time you can collect everyone you want to. I think that's a cool approach that they have. And I like that they also have an app store. Yeah, there's my comment there. Or it's on the app store, so you can download that and access it mobilely, which is the direction I think blockchain's heading. So that's really cool.
Definitely a really cool platform. I wanted to share it, and it's a neat way to start collecting and exploring new creators and artists, both digital art and music. So definitely check it out. And there's Sammy. Like I've gotten several different claims. But here's the thing. So like you can limit who can claim based on what assets they have in their wallet. So you can token gate claims as well.
Wow. Okay, that's definitely interesting. Basically you can allow people to collect your whole set, but it doesn't allow people to, you'd have to purchase those NFTs in the earlier set if you don't own them already. I think that's a cool way to incentivize collectors in a way that's not so money intensive, right? It allows people to access things, because I saw that 704, that's what it's trading for, like one polygon, one Matic, which is very affordable for anyone that's interested in collecting some of your favorite artists. That's really
And
cool.
then you can also use these assets as token gating as well. Want access to the first ever country duet on blockchain? Collect this now to get on the allow list. Oh wait, I can't.
Oh no. Oh no. You got 3 hours. You set a
I'll,
timer.
I'll be back in 3 hours to collect this because I'm a big fan of Sammy, so I got to support him. But definitely a really cool platform.
I'm downloading that one. That is a for sure download for me. And speaking of cool ways to interact with socials and integrating Web3, I want to present to you guys Hundrix. This platform has got a little bit of a weird taste in my mouth, but I'm excited for the direction that they're taking this. So let's go ahead and just share this, and we can explore this a little bit together. So basically, what Hundrix is creating is a extension for your browser to upgrade Twitter to a Web3 product. I'm not going to play the video for you. I'd much rather just go and show you guys a little bit more about what's going on here. So it unlocks access to these things known as social tokens. These are created on a bond curve, if you understand that. So as they are purchased, the supply increases. As they're sold, it's burned off, and that supply decreases, creating that bond curve. If you guys want to do a little research on how that works, you're more than welcome to. I'm not going to spend time explaining that here. But basically, it allows you to buy these tokens of some of your favorite influencers or some of these accounts that you wish to support in a different way on Twitter, other than going and supporting them with their whatever it's called, the $5.99 or $4.99 that you can support these accounts with directly. And we can really understand kind of this social interest through a financial means on Twitter, which is something that we've never really been able to experience before, outside of things such as followers or joining their account and giving them that money monthly. So I'm going to go ahead and explore this a little bit with you guys on my personal Twitter account and show you guys kind of what it looks like now before they've upgraded anything. So I've already got the extension done. So say I wanted to go and comment on somebody's tweet. Here's a little, let's see. So here's a little funny meme. So we're going to go ahead and access one of the many features that is applied in this extension, which is reply with GPT. Super interesting, allowing you to access Chat GPT to automate replies, automate tweets, and actually reward you for doing this. So if I hit that reply with GPT, it then comes up with this for me. We all have some bizarre search histories. Don't worry, it's completely normal. Now, I wouldn't normally tweet this. I'm going to do this for the example. I love Edward. He's an awesome dude. But when you leave this part at the end that says tweeted from Hundrix, you're actually rewarded. So you go up to earn tokens, and you can actually see that technically it's called a mined tweet when you leave that in there, when it's generated through GPT, and you're actually earning their token DRX as you do these GPT replies. You can, as you can see, I've done some of the GPT replies without that ending piece, and I don't get rewarded for those, which is super interesting. They're also adding a creator tips section, allowing you to tip them through cryptocurrency. This is something that is kind of already baked into Twitter. You can, add your addresses and allow people to tip you that way. But this is a little bit more integrated, as you can connect your wallet directly here. Right now, we're still in early beta version. They haven't done the full release yet, so I'm not able to show you all these cool features, especially the social tokens. This is one I really want to get my hands on. But you can see this is just an example. These aren't active trading. None of these numbers have changed. So basically, you can see that the supply with the bond curve here, and you can see the token price and the changes over time. Definitely a cool addition to Twitter. Hopefully they make some cool things happen with this that allow people to access the financial side of social media a little bit further. It's just something cool that you could download and play around with if you want to. Just a simple browser extension. But I've enjoyed playing with it and seeing what's possible with some of the features that they've released just in their early version here.
So, like, that looks integrated into Twitter, is it?
No, so it's not directly integrated to Twitter. So I had to download this extension here, Hundrix. You don't actually interact with the extension. It just basically plugs right into Twitter API, allowing you to all of these new tabs that are not shown in default Twitter.
So okay, so like those tabs you're looking at, they're not part of Twitter. They're just the extension you're using.
Yep, it's building on the Twitter API. Yes.
Okay, interesting. Very cool.
Yep. It's just this one social tokens tab here, but it's something to play around with. Even just the reply with GPT feature alone is enough for me to want to use it. I mean, I can go and create any sort of replies for anything. There's so many different uses for that would actually be applicable, that I'm definitely going to be using.
Is there any cost associated with using and replying with GTP?
You get rewarded. They're paying you to use it.
If you include the tag in the bottom.
Yep, if you include this part. Yep. But without that, then you're just using the GPT as is, and you can utilize that as much as you want, which is really cool for a free extension. That's pretty unheard of, allowing you to access this and use it in such an applicable way. I don't think there's any other platforms out there doing anything like that for free.
I just came across a headline that said how to use GPT without paying the monthly fees. So maybe there's a workaround, or maybe there's API, and that's how you get around it, or something where it doesn't cost anything monthly. But then um, I had another thought. Twitter, Chat GTP, GPT, GTP. I can never remember if it's GTP or GPT. Um, but wait, I had another thought. Snap. I think they have something up their sleeves. Oh, no, that's you. um, is okay. Yes, I remember. I remember. Do you think, is this possible because Elon unlocked Twitter's APIs and algorithms where you don't have to pay hundreds of thousands of dollars to have access to that? So now it's available to more developers. Is this possible because of that, you think?
I think so. Yeah, I think so. And I think that there's going to be much more that's like this that starts releasing. It might not be these same applications, GPT and then rewarding and then tokenized accounts, but I do think that there's going to be many other plugins, quote unquote, to Twitter that are created that solve problems that we didn't even know we had at this point. And as crazy as it might be, there's already ways with Auto GPT where you can have basically GPT create and build up your social following, or interact with replies, and go and retweet and like tweets. That's already possible externally. Imagine when someone starts putting in that API and building something really powerful, and I'm sure that's happening already.
Right on, right on. Let's see what happens.
Pandora's box is open. We shall see.
AI. So you're referring to mod view. Let me switch to mod view over here. See who's in here. See if people that are telling me they're watching are watching. It would help if I knew their name, though.
Yeah, I don't know anybody's names in the chat. I love all our viewers.
All right, all right. So
what do you got next for us, Ivan?
One of my favorite games.
Ooh.
Now, if I can only find where that screen is that I just shared, there it is. I found it. Welcome back to Upland. There's some new developments in Upland. Before I get into that, though, there's an article that was released recently by the Metaverse Street Journal. I thought this was really clever, and I'm like, why didn't I think of that? Because
Cool.
I think this is new. I don't know when this started publishing, but the Metaverse Street Journal, I love that they did a play on the Wall Street Journal. They are saying Upland 3.0 is here, and this article, I'll share it. I'll share a link here in the chat, but for anyone that wants to visit it and read it, because I'm not going to sit here and read it. I'm just going to highlight that it touches on like the fact that this was launched back in, was it, I want to say whenever it was 2-3 years ago. It also compares what prices were of land, where the mint price used to be about 600 UPX, which is equivalent to 60 cents. Nowadays, average price is 900 UPX, which is equivalent to $9. And it shows you where the game's come for the last 2 to 2.5 years that it's been live and functioning. This comes in with London and Birmingham just being released, and London, specifically London, because I participated in that release, demonstrated some of the highest prices we have yet to see in Upland. It's no secret that London is a naturally an expensive real estate city, just like New York is, and everyone that's participated in the game knows that properties in New York are some of the highest in the game. Like if I can just like on a random, like in the middle of Manhattan, if we were to scroll, so the lowest property is $61. That's the on resale market because they were all minted out. So the cheapest property in the middle of Manhattan, $69 or $61. If we go a little closer to, I guess, what is this, downtown area, it drops a little bit to $39 as an example. If we go a little bit higher on the tip up here, prices are at $110. So that's Manhattan for you. But those didn't mint for that much. Obviously, those are resale prices and market determines the price. But London and Birmingham just opened up. Wait, I keep missing my locations. And London is a major city, mid-tier city. Upland likes to classify their cities. They opened up Birmingham. Birmingham is a low tier city, meaning it's more for beginning users. 70% of the properties there are reserved for what's called an FSA, first or fair starting act properties, which are with lower prices reserved for newer users that haven't reached a certain level of what's it called? Certain level of IMA. Where's my level? I'm a director. Certain level of ranking within the game, and so those FSAs are reserved and more affordable for new players. So that was the main difference between Birmingham and London. I managed to get in there. My average buy price, I think I bought 5 properties in London. Let's see. I managed to get into, so they had a stress test every time they have a new city release. They have a stress test, and I managed to take these 3 properties and let's see, what's this? Queens, I think it was Queens Park. Yes, so I got 3 properties in Queens Park for, I don't remember what the average price was, roughly $15 each. Queens Park floor right now looks like it's about $17. And then that was during the stress test. When they opened up the rest of the city, now it's not the full city, it's about a third of the city. It's all of these counties. I managed to snab 3 more, but those were quite expensive especially if you wanted to be more centrally located. The one property I got that was centrally located was this. Look how tiny compared to the other ones. And that was $35. In comparison to the other 3 that I got not in the stress test, were these a little bit further away in a not as nicer neighborhood. It's mostly a commercial warehouse-based type neighborhood. Those are more than 150% the size. So that one was 48. I guess that one's a little more. And what was this one? This one was 29, and this one up here was 29 as well. So they were quite expensive. At this point, I'm like, okay, I'm done. I've depleted my UPIX. I need to but I wanted to buy more. So I'm like, let me travel over to Birmingham. That's when I went over to Birmingham because properties there were significantly lower priced. Where's Birmingham? There it is. And I picked up several more. I picked up 5 more in Birmingham, but for comparison, the price is, this was $10 for triple the size of that first one that I showed you. Then this one was $850 for not much different than the last size that I showed you. That one was 50 something. This one's 46, whatever we call it. I don't know, property size, up squared size. I don't know how to I still don't know how to refer it. I call it square feet, but it's not. And so that was those were some of my purchases in Birmingham and London. But like the fact that London broke such a record, here's another one: 89, double the first one I showed you in Birmingham, and it's only $10, $987. Wow. We'll see what happens. But so each one of these properties is going to pay monthly rent as the size of the property, the price you pay dictates how much it pays back. It's usually right now, there's a set standard that they follow based on the economy overall of the game. And so right now it gives you about 14.5% return as from the get-go. And so like, this is the tricky part, is when you're buying resale, you're not getting the same return. So if you mint the property, you get roughly 14.5%. But if you buy it resale, I'm going to mark this property up. You no longer get getting that same return on your money on a monthly basis. But it's in perpetuity, and so it's for life, or for as long as this project exists. And so far, they've created, like I've shared before, a lot of different partnerships, like with the NFL Players Association and FIFA and several other major organizations, and they're just keep going forward with that. So I'm really excited for the fact that I managed to get into London, as expensive as it is. Now I'm just going to roam around Birmingham and London, wait for my monthly rent. Like here, I have 6,100 of earnings to collect, so I'm gonna collect that. I'm gonna roam around London and Birmingham for a little while, collecting my rent till it piles up until the next city opens up, and see what the next city is. For the most part, probably going to wait for something in Europe, but you never know, because usually travel right before mint, they allow for travel to be free, because right now it costs money, and I'll show you how the travel is. I don't know if I've shown that before. Let me find my guy. We're up here, so I'm going to go to London, because I don't know that I want to stick around in Birmingham, and I need to get to the train terminal. First, I got to get close to there, so I got to send my guy to the terminal. So send. No, I got two-factor authenticate with an SMS. Oh, I shouldn't have told you it was an SMS, but it says it right on the screen. Ooh, wrong code. Yeah, I was just tricking you. For those that were trying to steal my code. There you go. So now I'm traveling to the train station. Then I'm going to get on the train from the train terminal. I'm going to go to London, because that's the only city I can go. It's going to cost me 40 UPIX. That's practically free in the game, because some sends in cities cost more than that. And now I'll get on the train. I think it's a 15-minute ride to London, and then I will disembark in London, and my Explorer is going to start roaming around there. But from there, I can go. Yeah, it's going to be about 15 minutes, and there's the little train that's leaving Birmingham, and my guy's on there, and it's going to choo choo to London in about 15 minutes, and I'll be able to disembark. And then from there, I can go to anywhere else, because London has an international airport, which Birmingham doesn't. So London's probably a little bit of a better city to wait for the next city to open, which I don't plan on being soon, but whatever. Now I'm in London. I just wanted to demonstrate the travel function. You can travel the same way on airplanes and Hyperloop. There you go, Hyperloop. And soon cars, but cars are not active yet. People have cars, but you can't travel from city to city in a car yet that I know of.
Very cool.
That's my update on Upland. London is now open. Oh, well, yeah, I can wait in London for the rest of it, because that's just like a third or a quarter of the city. The city is actually it's probably even less than a quarter, because the city is like actually probably bigger than that, like all of this area. And there's London's huge. It's bigger than New York.
Wow. Heck yeah. I definitely want to be ready for when that opens up.
Aretsu, which part have you not seen before?
The traveling. He messaged that when you were traveling.
Oh, okay. They better make it 3D. Hold on. So we're buying empty lots when we buy lots in Upland, but as cities, so we also, within Upland, we have this other token called Spark. And you stake Spark in order to build properties, or in order to produce and manufacture assets. And so when a city becomes old enough, like San Francisco was the first city in the game, so I'm going to zoom close to that. And on a mobile platform, you can actually zoom to a different angle. I don't think I can do it on a PC. It's not letting me. But there's actual buildings, and some neighborhoods have more than others. I guess I found one of the least developed neighborhoods in San Francisco, because in my experience, neighborhoods are a lot developed. Let me go to one of my properties in LA, because that's a very well developed neighborhood that I have. So there's 3D aspects to it, and there's only going to be more. So in Century City, one of my favorite parts in LA, Century City. I own a couple of properties in there, prime real estate. There's like almost every single lot is developed with buildings, and these buildings are residences, and they can host more than one individual. I'm not sure how that's going to come into play with the game. They haven't announced that yet, but there's a 3D aspect to it. And like I said, on a mobile platform, you can actually, just like on a Google Maps, you can zoom, like not zoom, but you can adjust the view so you're seeing it from a side perspective. They should really add that to desktop display also. And so, and then there's stadiums anywhere. Let's see, where's their stadium? It's here. It's not a stadium. It's an exchange, Spark Exchange stadium. So look for the balls. Is there a stadium here? Those are also 3D. No, that's a store. Shoot. I know there's one up here somewhere near. But here, is this it? So the stadiums, they're constructed collectively. So usually the game has like a competition, like, okay, stake your Spark token to build the stadium, and then there's rewards for everyone collectively at the end as a percentage based on how much Spark they stake as a whole to build the stadium. And so it takes time. But even the stadiums in the game that are not individually owned are 3D assets. So there's lots of 3D, and that's just the beginning. And now, like, there's so much that's been added to the game, which is why this article is good to check out, because it kind of highlights all of that. But you can race cars. There's speedways. There's soon you'll be able to drive around, and so all of that will be 3D. And these buildings that are erect throughout the game, you'll be able to drive around and experience them in real time as you move around the map and you're exploring.
That's definitely a huge update. I'm excited to see how these cars work. You'll have to show us in real time. Do you have a car, Ivan, or is that something you have yet to get?
No, and that's a pet peeve of mine because cars have been expensive. They started at about $150 when they first released them last year. They've been decreasing slowly with every season. They're down to about $80. But I don't want to spend $80 on a virtual car when I'm spending $30, $40 on a property. I think the property's got a lot more value than the car. Now, it is permanent transportation, and you can travel using your Spark. Spark is sort of like you stake your Spark. You never spend it. You only stake the Spark, the second token that the game introduced. And so the more Spark you have to stake, the more you can do within the game, and the faster you can build. And you can trade the Spark. You can buy it, you can sell it, you can rent it, but you never spend it when you're using it for the in-game functions. So it's a very neat mechanism. And the fact that the token you can't take out of the ecosystem, the token always stays within the ecosystem. So it's like a stable token, but it's not really a volatile token because you can't take it out of the ecosystem and therefore trade it where people can dump it in a very, very unique way. The off ramp out of the game is you sell properties or assets in fiat, and the assets are if you have enough Spark, you can build a factory to and then in that factory you can stake. If you have enough Spark, you can stake Spark to manufacture vehicles with. Then you can build a gallery or a showroom rather, and sell those vehicles in a showroom, and you can sell them for UPX or fiat. Fiat would be your off ramp out of the games of the system. UPX would be just enabling you to buy more properties, but properties are also traded both in UPX and fiat, so you can buy properties for fiat or UPX. It's up to the seller what they want to sell it in. It becomes like an endless loop because you can also create explorers. You can create several different assets, and they only keep introducing more. They're going to introduce business licenses. They're going to introduce coffee shops and all kinds of different types of businesses. Business licenses will be leasable, so that if you don't want to run a business, you can lease your business license, and that's another way to sort of earn passive income. So it's, again, no wonder this article refers to it as a Plan 3.0. Is because it's come a long way since this game launched and what they're making possible.
I love how they're doing these incremental updates, and I think that's the right way to do it. Just build a nice, strong foundation that people want to participate in and add cool stuff on top. And that's what they've been doing. I mean, it seems like they're still growing, even in the bear market, which is really cool.
Yeah, in fact, they host a conference now annually every year. They call it Genesis Week. It's coming up in, geez, I don't remember. It's either June or July, Genesis Week, and it's usually in Vegas, and it's like a 2 day. They have a virtual day, and then followed by two in real life days of conference and hackathons and a bunch of other stuff that they've added this year. So, and at every event that Upline hosts, they give you an asset as a unique explorer that commemorates that event. So more collectibles. So, and the founder, the I want to call him Doug, but it's not Doug. One of the he's everywhere. He's at every major conference. He travels all over the world. He's a Dirk is his name. He's even become friends with Luke Kerner, our friend over at the Crypto Oracle Collective, and really cool guy. And I love the product that they made. And again, what started me on this, what got me to even explore the game, is I downloaded Brave. I started getting crypto ads. I saw a game that's based on Monopoly, but a Web3 property trading game. I was sold. I'm like, take my money. Let's go.
I love it. I wish I would have found it sooner. I've been churning a little bit away at my little properties, but I'm excited to get a little further. I need to put a little bit more money into UpX and get a few more properties now that we've got some more openings. But
yeah, definitely. So what collection you got? Let's take a look together.
Yeah, let's check it out.
But that would conclude my list for today's show.
For sure. I'll start talking about the XNFT stuff, and we can end with your collection that you want us to take a look at, if that works. Right. Share screen.
Alts by Adidas. He wants to talk about Alts by Adidas. We don't have to do a whole much looking about that, but let's talk about the X NFTs, and then we'll jump on Alts by Adidas, which, like, oh my god, I've been hit up by so many fakers and scammers. Oh my god, yo, you want an Alts by Adidas? Yeah, okay.
Yes, yeah. There's a lot of those going around. Anything Adidas related, I swear. But yeah, so basically, these XNFTs are a whole new evolution for interoperability and execution within NFTs. So basically, what their goal is to do. Here, let's see. Of course, they don't have anything nice and easy to look at here. It's got to be minimalistic. I love the crypto style. Let's see. I thought they had one more page, but no, not GitHub. Nah. Okay. Well, basically, I'll just talk about what I know about this. We can kind of discuss it and bounce back and forth. Actually, blog. Is that the one I was thinking about? Sorry, I'm a little unprepared. I thought I had everything pulled up. But basically, these XNFTs are entire ecosystems surrounding these assets that are living within these NFTs. So tokenized code representing ownership rights over its execution. The idea is simple. So simple, it's surprising no one has done it yet, but it's as simple as it is powerful. So basically what they're doing is allowing you to execute different actions within these NFTs, and everything lives within this NFT or these assets. So basically what you're allowing people to do is use these NFTs to access different functions inside, whether that's accessing a DApp, a decentralized application, whether it's accessing a game, whether it's accessing some sort of staking protocol that NFT might be tied to. There's tons of different applications for this, and it doesn't require anyone to leave that NFT. You actually access all of these different features just by clicking on your NFT, just by accessing what is stored within that asset. So let's go through a few examples. So imagine if you can manage your Mango margin accounts, which is a perpetual DEX, Stake your not a dex. It's a perp DApp. Stake your DGods or view your Magic Eden listings not in a web view, but natively in a single interface. Imagine if you wanted to create your own token protocol with your own twist without having to convince everyone to implement it. XNFTs are a standard-breaking standard making all of this possible. And for the first chapter of this story, we're building not a wallet, but something different, an XNFT operating system we call Backpack. And I'm bringing this to everyone's attention now because this is officially public for everyone. As of 2 days ago, you're able to go and download the Backpack extension, claim your username, and get started exploring what some of this is offering for people.
That's
Like
what I was asking about yesterday.
Yes. So, like a wallet, Backpack manages your private keys and connects to apps, but unlike anything else, it's asset and protocol agnostic. Everything in your wallet is an XNFT, and this is a big deal. Most wallets only show your tokens, and some don't even show your precious JPEGs. Backpack, however, is a home for everything. It's an open, programmable system built for Web3, and like any other application operating system, has a set of developer frameworks and APIs associating it with it, allowing anyone to build their own XNFT apps for any protocol on any blockchain without permission. This is opening the doors for so many different applications. I mean, you could go here and you could go into Magic Eden, go into Mango, go into a different game. You could go into Anchor, Serum, go and experience all the DGOT offerings that they have. It's creating a way for there to not be a box. There's no longer a box that you have to be in. If you're an NFT, you don't just have to live on Magic Eden or live in a MetaMask or Phantom wallet. This is allowing you to build applications directly into these assets people are buying and allowing you to access these applications just by going and accessing them in your Backpack. So it's such a cool system. There's tons of different applications. I mean, the door is open for so many things, and I implore you to go and download the Backpack extension for your browser and really get in there, start exploring and seeing what's going on. Definitely claim your username because those are going to start getting filled up really fast. Claim a cool name for yourself. Go get BD Badger, and grab everything that you guys want for that. I'm super excited about this. As you can see, I'm rambling. This is a whole different style of NFTs and dApps that has never been done before. And I haven't mentioned that there is an Ethereum version of this. We're going to do some research and come back next week with that so we can present that to you and see how that compares to this. But as this has just dropped, I wanted to be sure and share this with you guys. I'm going to go ahead and tweet out this link as well for this blog post. You guys can go back and look at this on your own time. But XNFTs are going to change the landscape of what we understand about these assets. It's incorporating the internet within NFTs directly, allowing you to create anything you want on top of these NFTs. Super pumped. Okay, done rambling. Ivan, what do you think, man?
So, what do we got to claim? Because I think that's what I was asking you yesterday about. Like, hey, you told us we should claim something, and I missed it, and I meant to go back to it, and I couldn't find where it was. And so, like, tell everyone what we need to claim.
So basically, what you need to do is you need to go you can go to backpack.app here. I'll make sure and post this link here. Right now, it's living on Solana or Aritsu. But they, like it said in the article, they are going to expand this to all blockchains, blockchain agnostic, allowing you to really access the power within these assets anywhere. But it is all going to be through this Backpack. It's basically an operating system. It's way more than just a wallet. So you're gonna wanna download this, claim your username, because that's what it is, Ivan. It's you're claiming the username. That's all it really is. Just like on Twitter. You want to get a cool username that you can, flex or whatever. That's what it is right now. So you can go to download, and then it'll redirect you to go ahead and add the extension and do things that way. I have this on my other device already. I've done it, did it quite a while ago. I was actually on the waiting list. But this is something I really recommend everyone to go and do. You won't regret it. It's going to be really cool. There's no financial implications by doing this. But it does open that door for you to explore a little bit more further when there's more stuff to actually experience here.
So yeah, the Ethereum version that I heard about today that's relative to this is I've been trying to Google and see if I can find what it was called, but it
I can't
was
find it either.
something like 1050 something, but I don't remember. It was 1055 something rather. But anyway, long story short, the way it was described on this, on the Crypto Oracle Collective, we had a presenter. So, that's going to be up on YouTube, so I can review it. We had a presenter, and he was talking about where digital assets, and it was Ethereum contract. Digital assets can own other assets, and so you have an Ethereum NFT that owns, or potentially that NFT owns other Ethereum NFTs, and they're tied to that one asset. So you can have 1 or 10 or 20 assets owned by that one asset, and you can trade that asset, and the ownership of those other assets go with the asset that you traded. And when I asked the question, is this anything similar like XNFTs? He said, yes, it's exactly like XNFT that's currently used on Solana. But my understanding is that XNFT standard is blockchain agnostic in itself, and that it's not only functional on Solana. It can be implemented on other blockchains, including Ethereum.
Yeah, definitely, absolutely, and I think.
But the beauty of that is, not to interrupt you, sorry, but the beauty of that is that now you're allowing an asset on Ethereum to function and execute commands without having to pay gas fees, because it's the asset doing it, is my understanding.
Yep,
And
it's
that's why I think it's ingenious.
You're not interacting with the blockchain, you're interacting with that specific asset, which it changes the whole game, right? Like we're so used to now paying gas fees for any little thing you want to do actually on chain, unless it's completely off chain, right? Those are the two options. You're either fully on chain or you're fully off chain, and there's not really any middle ground that makes it make sense. And now with these executable NFTs in whatever form they end up in, I love that they're going for this agnostic approach, but you're able to really open doors for functionality of these assets. And like you said, having those assets tethered to that core asset, like you were explaining, is just the very surface level of what's going to be possible within these. I mean, imagine being able to customize characters within that actual NFT, and it updates in real time, and you're able to do a ton of different transactions with just signing once. That's the door that's getting open now. Is things are going to really start becoming much more efficient with these executable NFTs. I'm beyond pumped to see what they can create. And the main reason why I personally think that the backpack is getting built on Solana is they received high levels of funding from the Solana Foundation, but that definitely does not limit them to just staying on Solana. I think the opportunities are really endless.
Right on. Yeah, like we said about 15, 20 minutes ago, this next evolution of Web3 is going to be exciting.
Very.
What do you know about Outs by Adidas?
Not a lot. I know that it exists. That's about it right now.
So it seems like they have some utility. Did I click on? I meant to click on. Did I click on that? So, and my understanding is that there's an asset that you burn. You connect your wallet and you burn in order to get your out. And then you get an alter ego. And the alter egos come with utility.
Looks very gamified, which I love. Okay, so it's very sports based. That makes sense for Adidas. They've got soccer, running and training, basketball. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, their site doesn't.
It's not one. Can you click where the blue bar is with the red slashes?
I have this.
Yeah, there you go. Foils, gleaming, music. I love this. And it has the different rarities. I love this.
Okay, so what's an alter ego? It's the first trait of your out by Adidas transformation identity PFP made up of 8 different traits with different rarities. In addition to utility available to every out, there will be exclusive utility determined by your alter ego to provide further benefits tailored to your interests. Alter ego utility exclusive or early access to physical and virtual products specific to your alter ego via Adidas online and retail touchpoints, access to tickets and events and performances specific to your alter ego. More utility information. That's what I clicked on. An alter ego is the first trait of your out by Adidas Connect wallet.
So it's basically the backgrounds right now, right? That's what you're minting.
I don't know.
Well, that seems to be the only thing that changes, but I guess maybe it is a full, but it says it's just your first trait, which is interesting. I'm gonna have to do a little bit more research on this, but this is super interesting. They always got to keep it mystique and let people stay guessing a little bit, which I can appreciate.
So here's this what I was looking for. So these are the outs.
Right.
So is this what you burn to get an alter ego?
That's a good question. Interactive storyline will culminate with the reveal.
So if you minted identity PFP loading by an open sea. Okay, I remember these guys.
Yes, I remember those two.
These were the originals. So phase 1, phase 2. That's the same one. And then phase 3, burn into your outs. So are you burning these into an out?
That might be what it is. You burn one of those to access a mint. I would assume that they're not all going to be the same.
Or to get an out, which this is the out.
Right.
Let me go back here now. Burn into your out now. And then once you have your out, there's going to be an alter ego. And the alter ego is the first trait of your out.
Right.
Yeah, so like maybe it's a little more maybe it's a little overcomplicated. Like you like the gamified method, but
it seems a little too gamified. If I can't figure it out reading 2 different pages on your site that look like they should be explaining it, I don't know. I think there's a little too much I don't know. They're using that alt term a little too much, I think. It's confusing.
burn into your out now. To evolve to this new chapter, burn your ITM phase 1 or phase 2. So that's what it sounds like. So wait, I have all the same ones open here.
That would make sense why the
So this is phase 1. This is phase 2.
And now phase 3.
And you burn one of those to get phase 3, which yeah, that's what I'm getting at. So like, but isn't it cheaper to buy one of these and burn it if you get an out anyway?
I think so. I think that's kind of how they have it set up.
Maybe that's their point, to see how many of these we can burn, lowers the supply on these, and now we have new ones.
Yeah, that's kind of what it seems like.
Because I don't see a way to mint one.
No, I don't think you can, but
So I guess there's a video, but you can't hear the audio.
right.
Burn your connect your wallet is like logging into Web3 is like logging into no. That's funny. I don't have a wallet. Now what?
It's
Oh,
gonna
it's
get
sending
you.
me to find a wallet. So they have not used a custodial solution yet, but you need the wallet because you need the asset to burn it to get your out. So that's the
Right.
only thing that's what it sounds like to me. And so like now, but like what are these utilities? So you get an out. We just don't know what the alter ego is like.
Right.
Is that right? Is that
Yeah,
your
I don't
understanding of
think
it?
there's any. I think there's still yet to like fully reveal what this, because there's 8 different traits. I think it's going to go trait by trait to build out this the full alter ego.
So the floor on the outs is lower than phase two, but phase one is lower than both. So you buy a phase one, you burn it into an out. Is that the play?
I don't see. I don't know. I
Five
don't know
hundred
if
$49.
I don't know.
Phase
That would
two,
make sense
because
to me, but hmm, I don't know.
so the alter ego is the first trait.
Hmm.
So how many alter egos will there be? There will be 8 different alter egos. Well, they to litigate. In addition to utility, there will be so like all right, so here's my thing. Never okay. Do you spend $500-$600 on one of these assets so you have this utility? I don't know. If you're a big fan of Adidas and that's all you buy and follow and you want those unique exclusive merchandise, maybe. But outside of that, I don't know that I'm excited about owning one of these. Like, okay, it changes, but like for the amount of time, unless I'm going to take advantage of buying these products, and I'm still going to have to probably spend money on these exclusives. Um, for a dynamic NFT that changes in my wallet, it's yeah, it's not for me. But that's just my opinion. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't think it's for me either. Just a little bit out of my price range to really fully consider it. But I'm curious because I think the way that these big brands approach Web3 is super interesting, and it's super important to kind of keep track of, to understand which companies are taking approaches that are a little bit more co- co- cohesive with like just the Web3 mentality, right? We want to find that balance between Web2 and Web3 for these companies. And I think this is a little too gamified for my liking, especially if you're trying to onboard people through this. I don't think this is necessarily the right approach. And honestly, I feel like just a more comprehensive or explanatory FAQ could really solve that problem. But I think the fact that they're using alt and alter ego and all these, it's overlapping in their descriptions, it's a little confusing. That's my thoughts.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to see how
Plus,
this one unfolds.
they've so Adidas has also partnered. Like they've done some high end collaborations and some big names recently. Nothing comes off the top of my head, but I remember them. Like then they do with Gucci and no, maybe not Gucci. I'm confusing something else. But like they've done several high profile collaborations recently, to where I think now we're paying a premium for trying to get into a recognized brand into Web3 because it's so limited and so many people want it because, like, okay, well, we don't want PFPs anymore. Now we want these big brands that are getting into them. The price is going to be up. Just like Bugatti Group. I don't think Bugatti Group is necessarily worth what, I don't know. I'm saying that. Let's see what they're trading for. But Yeah, 0.13 each. So what's that? $250. Yeah, I don't think this necessarily is worth that kind of money, but to some people it may be. Again, the market determines the price. So I'm priced out of this for what I get out of it. It's not like it's going to be a regular utility that I would use, and the utility itself is going to require me to spend more money on the products anyway. So now I'm in for hundreds, if not soon enough, thousands of dollars.
It's interesting, right? Because a lot of these NFTs, they have the goals of being metaverse avatars, or they want to be a primary PFP that people use. And if anyone can do it, it's Adidas. I'm not going to discount them entirely. You know, if they create some, maybe there's some cool avatar that they can create that applies to other side because of their partnership with apes. Not financial advice. That's not at all confirmed. I'm just thinking of different applications that would warrant that sort of price. And that's kind of what I'm thinking. But we'll have to see. Adidas has been, one of the more successful brands that has made their way to Web3. Whether you agree with that or not, I mean, the price speaks for itself. We'll have to see. We'll have to see kind of what one unfolds. I'm not going to be buying one personally, but I am excited to see how this journey really plays out.
Well, here's the obvious one that they've partnered up with is Bored Apes. I can't think of one. One doesn't come to mind. And then we have outs.
Now we have the alts.
Oh, they have audio to them also. It's just crickets and the sound of neon signs.
All right.
Well, Aretsu, hope that answered some of your questions or gave another perspective and helps you with your decision on exploring this collection. I mean, it's not a bad collection. If I had the money to throw around, definitely I'll probably be like, yeah, why not? It's Adidas. But given the price point and if I'm being a little careful with how we spend in this economy, yeah, it's something that they'll have to sell me on more. Like, what events am I going to? Are you having an event at BTC Bitcoin 2023 in Miami? Are you having an event at Eat Denver? Are you having an event at NFT and events? Like everybody nowadays says, "Oh, we invite you to events." Okay, what events and where? Am I going to be able to benefit from those? If they're in Seattle or Hawaii, I'm not going to make it.
That's very accurate. Very true. I mean, and especially me, I live in the heart of the Midwest. I have to travel, 8 hours to the closest conference to me that happens yearly. So it doesn't apply to most people, if not like 98% of people that want to buy and purchase and hold these things. It's great to flex digital items that you own, but that IRL utility is where a lot of the value is for people. And if you can't access that, then it's not that valuable.
Reds to just share this. What is this? Bitcoin Express. I finally got a rare NFT after all these years. Alice by Adidas Drips.
Heck yeah.
All right. Great. Let's go.
That's cool. All right.
All right. Well, that's all I have for today. Thank you so much for everyone that tuned in. Evan, you got anything else you want to talk about?
No, I think that's about it. We'll have some cool new topics for you, and hopefully we'll have a better understanding of a few of the things that we mentioned today that are kind of related to some of the topics, and we'll be able to share those with you in a little more detail.
Absolutely. And as a reminder, check us out on Twitter Spaces in the mornings, morning announcements, American Crypto Academy morning announcements every weekday at 9:30 a.m. on US Crypto Academy. It's right there on the right there on the bottom corner, right below Evan. US Crypto Academy is our Twitter handle. And Evan and I do this every Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. So definitely tune in next week. Appreciate you tuning in. Bring your questions. We can, just like we did, we can dissect the project together and give opinions and explorations or answer questions. So don't be shy. Get in there.
That's right. All right. Well, thank you guys for joining us. Another great show today. And be sure to tune in next week.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.